Hi, it's Joy Foster, founder of Tech Pixies and the host of the Sparkle and Thrive podcast. And I'm very excited today to be interviewing one of our dream builders, but also one of our social media students. She's done both of our coaching programs, Lorraine Kroom. Lorraine, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, you are known as the Bill Payers bestie, and I think that is very true, especially in these times. Talk to us about where you were when you found Tech Pixies and what you were looking to do and how things have changed for you.
Okay, well, just before I found Tech Pixies, it was probably the beginning of 2020, and I ran my own leaflet distribution business. I've been doing it for about 20 years, but I was thinking to myself, I need to be doing something different, lugging all these boxes of leaflets around and, traipsing the streets, even though I enjoyed it and I was really proud that I provided work for other people and they had an income because of it. I just felt something needed to change. So COVID came along, lockdown came along, and I wasn't allowed out to deliver leaflets. So to begin with, I thought, great, couple of weeks off kind of thing, and catch up on the housework and stuff like that. But then I thought, well, what am I going to do for work, for my income? So one of my leaflet distribution clients, he said, well, I and my wife Helen, we do utility warehouse. They'd been doing it for 15 years, very successful. He said, let's see how much money we can save you on your bills. And then if you want, you can join as a partner and replace the income you've lost from not being able to deliver leaflets. So that's what actually happened during lockdown. So I joined in May 2020.
Yeah. So that's when you joined Utility Warehouse to do
Yes.
that. And you could do that over Zoom, which was great. So you could sell.
Yeah, they adapted to that really well.
Yeah, and then so when you found Tech Pixies, it was really initially you decided to do the Dream Builder program. So you went down the life coaching route rather than the social media coaching route, and
Yeah.
you did Dream Builder. And I remember when we had our first sort of meeting about our vision, your vision strategy session, where we were talking about where you were going to go, what you wanted to do, and you had some big goals, but they felt really almost too big at that time. Tell us about the goals that you had and when you started Dream Builder?
Yeah. I started Dream Builder. Well, before I started Dream Builder, unfortunately, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I had to go through all of that, a couple of operations and so on. And then I saw your advert on Facebook and I thought, this looks like a good route for me, because I'd lost a bit of self-confidence and self-esteem and I needed building up. So I went on your boot camp. I went in the hot seat. My husband, who I later realised was my best partner in believing, was encouraging me to get in the hot seat, because I felt quite shy and retired. But I did it, and then afterwards, of course, I asked you, well, would you like a price comparison? And you became a customer. But yeah, leading up to that, I thought, well, I read through all the information about Dream Builder and I thought, this is definitely what I need. I need to put myself out of my comfort zone and get on with it.
Well, and initially you had thought about doing the social media program, but then decided to hold off on the social media program because you wanted to work on sort of the personal side of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And that really made a big difference. So let's talk about the goals when you came in. One of the things that you wanted to do. What was one of the things you wanted to do when you joined Dream Builder?
I wanted to, in utility warehouse, become a team leader. So you had to get so many personal customers, so many partners, and get them to a certain level. And I thought, I don't feel confident enough to do that. Everyone joins at different kind of levels of confidence. And I just recognised that I wanted to be successful in it, but I didn't really feel like I had the tools. So I needed to find those somewhere. And Dream Builder was the perfect vehicle for it.
And tell people what happened.
Um, Well, I joined, and I was in the first cohort, which I'm really proud about, with about 7 or 8 other really amazing women that I've got to know quite well. And yeah, it just gave me the tools to progress.
And
Uh,
talk about the progression that you've made at Utility Warehouse.
well, I now have 51 customers. So I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity and proud that I've achieved that. It's a bit of a big milestone
So,
in
but
the
that's beyond team leader. Like you accomplished team
yeah,
leader really early on. Like within doing Dream Builder, relatively quickly you accomplished team leader. But
yeah.
then so the stages that you've moved up now that you've got 51 customers, that's
Yeah.
moved you into a different level. What's that level now?
I am aiming for senior team leader.
Senior team leader, yeah.
Yeah. So I've more than accomplished the amount of personal customers required. I need to get 2 of my partners to team leader. And I needed 3 partners at what we call qualified distributor level, which is they've got 3 customers, and I've got 4 of those. So I've
Wonderful.
done that. So I'm at 95 group customers, but I need to get to 200.
Well, and what I love about this is, and what was for you when you wanted what was the level to get to just a team leader when you were just starting out and you set that goal and it felt really expansive. What was that? What was that?
Well, that was I've forgotten how many customers we needed and partners and so on.
Yeah, because you blew past it.
Yeah, it's like I'm focusing on the senior team leader now.
I love that. But
Yeah,
this is I think what I love about this was just, the fact that it felt totally insurmountable when you came in.
yeah,
You got the tools to get the confidence to go, actually, this is totally doable. And then I remember you showed up and you're just like, I'm a team leader. Like I
yeah,
did it. And now it's like you're working towards senior team leader, which you no
yeah,
doubt will get. But I love as well, and this is my favorite part about women who do work with a purpose. Your goal is to reduce the bills,
yeah.
the amount that they're paying on their bills,
Mhm.
and so a big part of what you're doing is also you're not just bringing onboarding customers, but you're giving them the benefit of being onboarded with lower prices, which is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, if we can't lower a person's outgoings, I would say there's no point in joining. There are other reasons to join Utility Warehouse. For example, having all your bills or some of your bills in one place, making life simpler, and only having to remember one password, for the website, one phone number to phone about either energy, mobile, broadband, insurances, and it's just simpler. Yeah,
So let's talk about how it's impacted other people in your family, because it's not just impacted you. You said already you didn't realize this, but your husband was basically your partner in believing. You didn't know him as that until you went through the program. So for those who are
Mhm.
listening and don't know what a partner in believing is someone who doesn't put limitations on your goals and dreams and supports you and encourages you. And your husband is your partner in believing.
Definitely.
But the dream builder principles and tools, once you know them and you learn them and you apply them to your life, they really impact other people around you. So how has that had an impact on your family?
Um, you mentioned my son, Harry. He's a trans man, and we're really, really proud of him for coming out and being himself. Um, the program helped me accept that better, cope with it better, help him through his journey more efficiently. It takes a lot of courage to come out to your parents. And then I remember when he came out to school, it was during lockdown, and he typed out an email to his favourite teacher, and he just couldn't press the button to send it. And I was in his room with him and I said, come on, you've just got to get on with it. Just press that button. And he's like walking around the room, not knowing what to do. And I said, look, I've got to get on with the day. Press that button. And he did. And then he had so much positive feedback from school. It was really amazing. And he has said since that he's so grateful for his family accepting him as he is, because it may not have been that way. You know, even my mum, who's 90 now, she's, you know, in a nursing home, and she says, remind me, what is his name? You know, not about her or she. And yeah, and his friends at school as well. He actually came out to them before, and he was trying out different names. But then on Christmas Day, he came out to us and he wrote a beautiful letter. He wrapped it up, and he said to myself, my husband, you know, I want you to open this together. Opened it up. I read the letter out. We were still in our pajamas and everything. And he, unknown to us, he was recording us. And he circulated it through, you know, online trans groups or whatever, and it went viral. And they were saying how lucky he was to have parents that just accepted it, because that doesn't always happen.
No, that's true. And actually, that's one of the major challenges that transgender adults, children, teenagers have when they are, you know, is if they don't have the support of their family, it's just that much harder. And I interviewed a trans woman last year during Pride Month, and that, you know, and it was interesting because she vividly remembers having a ponytail, and then I think it was her mother cut the ponytail off, you know, and she just really remembers that as being very, very hurtful, and, you know, and really having, like, that was very challenging. So I think it's amazing that the way you have supported him through this transition. And so, you know, I think that's the thing, is these tools that we have, they help us through the tools that we have through Dream Builder, tools of, you know, increasing our awareness of abundance, decreasing our sense of lack, increasing our sense of deserving, working through forgiveness, and also, you know, really painting the picture for the vision we would love, you know, being able to see our family life in the way that we want to see our family life, and being able to see our career in the way that we want to see our career, and then having support from other people in the Dream Builder cohort is just amazing. From a social media perspective, so when you finished Dream Builder, you then went on to our social media program, and you're very good at doing live videos. I think you started doing that from the boot camp and carried it on. But now you're very, very, very comfortable doing live video, and you do video regularly on your social media feeds. How has having that confidence to do video and to follow up with clients, and, you know, to reach out to people, how has that changed, you know, the way that you, how has being comfortable with being live on video changed the way that you do what you do?
It's definitely increased my confidence a lot. I know what you said, you know, a lot of other ladies have done the boot camp and don't want to do the live, but they just feel the fear and do it anyway. I know the first time I did it, oh God, it took me, I don't know, 2 hours at least. I was like practicing. I was like walking around, getting all stressed. But I managed to do it. And the more you do something, the more it becomes natural. So now when I'm doing a live, I think, oh, I've just got to do my live. You know, I'll think of a title, just quickly jot down a few words perhaps. And sometimes I'll just go in the garden and just do it for a couple of minutes, and then it's done, and then I'll share it. And then I'm on, you know, to the next thing of the day. So yeah, I think the biggest thing is the confidence.
What
Yeah.
I love is when you do your live videos and you share your wins, like getting to meet the CEO of the company and
Yeah.
having, being invited to a private dinner because of the progress you're making. And, I love that, in the sense that it's like, you're sharing your wins, you're sharing your successes, and also and then in between, you've got like great tips for people and
Yeah.
opportunities for people to reduce their bills. And you've
Mhm.
built a really nice rhythm of things.
Mm.
And like you said, you're not scared to do it. It's part of your deal. You just get on with it. You don't pace the room anymore. You just like, okay,
Mhm.
get it done, then move on and do the other things you need to do.
Yeah, that's right, and I kind of made a space in my diary for every Wednesday to do it, because it's better to do it once a week regularly than try and do it every day and then run out of puff with it.
Yes. I need to take a little bit video film shot of that and stick it in the boot camp to
Yeah,
remind
yeah,
people. Listen to Lorraine.
yeah.
All right. So, what I love to ask dream builders, of course, because dream builders have visions and then they update those visions and they've got a, bigger term vision. So 3 years from now, it's July 2026. We're having a follow-up conversation and you're telling me what's happening in your life. So what's going on with your life 3 years
Be
from now?
really excited, because instead of having just 50 personal customers, I'd have 50 partners who I've helped achieve some of their dreams, goals and dreams. I've got like a Canva thing that I have here. I don't
Yeah.
know. Is it around the wrong way?
No, we can see it. Yep.
Yeah.
We can see it.
So,
You
so
have a
that,
vision board.
yeah.
And for those of you who can't see it, at Tech Pixies, we encourage people on the Superhero Boot Camp to create a vision board. So she says, I'm so happy and grateful now that I've helped 50 utility warehouse partners achieve their dreams and aspirations simply by helping them help others to spend less on their utility bills and everyday shopping. Hooray! I am a success. I love that so much. This
Yeah,
or
I've got that
something
up on
greater
my
still.
board. Yeah.
Well, and it's so important, and that's, two things. One, it's really important we have a vision. No wind is favorable to the boat without a direction, right? So we have a vision, and that every day we're taking action towards it. But also, if I were to show you that poster when you started Dream Builder,
Mm.
that you weren't that wasn't on the vision. But then when you set the team goal, and then you got that, and then now you're working towards it, and it's a wonderful thing, because once you know how to set a vision, and then you know how to work towards it with brain priming and daily action and all that stuff. Once you've done that, you get it. You have this system of you have a system, and you just rinse and repeat that system.
Yeah.
um, I'm gonna. We've got a comment from someone watching. She says, "This is Angie." She says, "So glad I managed to catch this live. I can really connect with Lorraine is saying and what you've been through. Also, having had breast cancer and having a trans son, and
Oh,
also someone who's still so riddled with a lack of confidence and anxiety. So happy for you, Lorraine." In no better place than Tech Pixies for being supported. And Angie, of course, just send us an email on support@techpixies.com and we can talk about how we can support you through this next phase. And
yeah.
Angie had done our Tech Pixies program when it was live in person, which was many, many years ago. So
Mhm.
we're still there to support our alumni when they're ready to get some additional support. But she has been through what you're going through, and what an inspiration for her to listen to your story. And that's why I wanted to get you on the podcast, because I find your story absolutely inspirational. And I just, if I could play that video of
Yeah.
Lorraine holding up the 50 partners to the Lorraine that was like, I just want to get to team leader, you wouldn't believe
Yeah,
it, right?
I know. And I mean, when I first started Utility Warehouse, I'd never done anything online. And, you know, when I was pacing around trying to do the live, that's how I was when I was first doing appointments, and I'd wake up in the morning thinking, I've got to break through, I've got to push myself, but I was scared at the same time. But I thought, this is a brilliant opportunity. I've just got to get more comfortable with it and just keep doing it rather
And,
than,
and and the funny thing is, you get more comfortable doing something by putting yourself out of the comfort zone.
yeah,
It
definitely.
doesn't it doesn't make sense, but it's the way it works.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about are the 3 Ds. It's the same thing that Harry had when he had to when he was sending his letter. It's
Mm.
like, I'm gonna do everything else except for send the letter. And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna do everything else except for follow up with a customer. I'm gonna do everything else except for do a
Mhm.
live. And we call those the 3 Ds: distraction, dissuasion, DEFCON. So
Yeah.
distraction shows up when, you're about to do something really important for your future self, and you get distracted and you go like, I got to go clean the sock drawer I haven't organized for 15 years. And
Yeah.
dissuasion comes in like, oh, today's not a good day to send the letter, maybe tomorrow's a better day, or I
Yeah.
loved how you said, well, I got other things to do.
Yeah.
So you got to send it.
Get on
But
with it.
then DEFCON is when you freeze, you're about to do something, and the fight and flight chemicals hit at the same time, and you can't move and you can't do it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we talk about in Dream Builder, the three Ds show up, and how do we overcome that? Well, we touch back into the vision. What's the vision? You've got your vision board. You get into
Mm.
the feeling tone of that vision, and then you ask yourself, is there a message here? Is there something that I could be doing? And that's where you get that, that little intuition that says, call this person, do that, go for a walk. So
Yeah.
changing your energetic state's another thing that you can do as well when you get in that stuck place, is actually touch base with the vision, see what message comes to you, but also know how to change your energetic state. I'd love to know, Lorraine, what do you do to change your energetic state? I know I listen to Pink, I blast Pink, or I go for a walk with the dog. What do you do?
Sometimes I do put music on. I've got some old LPs play on the record player. Um, Most of the time, I like to go out for a walk and listen to a podcast or an Audible book, one of the positive books,
Yes,
because
and we have a whole list of them at
yeah, I've got some
techpixie.com
I've
/joy
got
book club.
this one that you've promoted before, 12-week year
Yes, the 12-week year. It's a great
one.
book.
I've got Why Are My Goals Not Working?
Yeah, there we go.
It's really good, actually. That's reminded me about the different personalities. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've read about the different personalities: red,
We
yellow, blue, green.
Oh, yeah, we did a whole color test at Tech Pixies, so we know
Ah,
what everyone on the team is. I am very red.
right. I'm very yellow.
So,
Um,
Lorraine, explain to people what the personalities are, the
okay,
different
okay. So a red personality is a go-getter. Wants to get to the top, really, no matter what. I wouldn't say they don't care about the others around them. You obviously care a lot about the tech pixies.
Yeah,
Um,
but you are very, like, there's not
Focus.
a lot of room for niceties.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah, yeah.
I
Totally
have to really work on the niceties.
right. Yeah. And there are people like that in Utility Warehouse that I have met trying to be yellow.
Yeah. Well, I do have quite a few yellow as well. Like, my strongest is red. I have a little bit of yellow, which they call orange, right? So you're a bit red. So I have the optimism and the friendliness, and which is yellow.
Yeah.
But then there's also green and blue, which I really don't have a lot of. I think I think it's blue or green. One of them I have only like one little tiny bit of, and that's
Okay.
the person who reads like every single thing,
Yeah.
and
The
you know
greens.
crosses the T's, dots the I's,
Mm.
checks everything. Like, I'm just not that type of person at all. My husband is, and he's very much in that camp, and that's
Yeah.
that's actually a good balance for a red orange to have someone who is blue green, because you then actually read contracts and
Yeah. Yeah.
make decisions slower.
Yeah. My husband is a green. Yeah. And I was at an appointment once with a green, and he wants to read everything through. And I had to go back like 3 times. And even then, he was umming and ahhing. And his wife said, I think it's about time we went for it.
Yeah, no, my husband's definitely the same way. But
Yeah.
it's a wonderful, like I said, it's good for the balance on the two
Yeah.
sides. Claire Louise is listening live. She says, tunnel vision's not always a bad thing. Totally true. She wants to know the name of the book that you recommend again. The last
Um,
one you held up.
Last one.
Yeah. So, why are my goals not working? Color
Yeah.
personalities for network marketing success. There you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, color personalities. It's very important to know that. And a friend of
Yeah.
mine has written a book on sales, and she talks about the color personalities. That's how I was introduced to that. And yeah, always good stuff to talk about. All right, so Lorraine, let me ask you this: if someone's on the fence about doing Dream Builder or a social media program, what would you say to them? How, and your decision was Dream Builder first and then social media. What would you say to someone who's on the fence or thinking about it?
I would say just go for it. Just don't think too much about it. Just sign up and enjoy the ride.
And
Because
enjoy the ride.
yeah.
You have no idea what's coming your way. I love that.
Yeah.
So the book I was just going to say, that's another great book, which might be a good complement to that, especially if you're not in network sales, is Secrets of Successful Sales by Allison Edgar, Edgarmbe. So that's where I was first introduced to the color personalities. And then we hired someone to come in and do all the personalities on the team, which was amazing.
Yeah.
So, Lorraine, this has been a wonderful half hour. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And you've given us some great, great, wonderful things to think about in terms of setting goals, going for goals, and doing it within a structured system of support. And your life has been an adventure, between breast cancer and, a trans son, and having to rebuild your business, having lost it with COVID. You're still smiling and you're still going and you're very successful, and it's just a wonderful gift to give to the world. And that's why I wanted to share your story. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. And thank you for everything you've done for me and everyone else, all the Tech Pixies. We really, really appreciate it.
Oh, don't make me cry.